Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live with Mom's Clean Air Force. We're going to just give us a few seconds here for everyone to start logging on and joining. But it's a wonderful Tuesday. Yay. So excited to be back here with all of our good friends at Mom's Clean Air Force. We are excited that we are now post-election and getting ready to get into some great things for this new upcoming year. Hey, Trisha. So welcome to our Facebook Live. Hi, Annika. We're just giving a few moments for folks to get logged on and joining us today. Excited to talk about Mom's Clean Air Force, what we're doing, what we've been doing for the past month, how excited we are. Got great news to share with everyone. So really thrilled about it. Hope you all like our signs in the background now. We're getting the climate corner together. That's what I'm calling this. I'm calling this our climate corner. Hey, Christine. Good to see everybody just jumping on and coming on to our Facebook Live today. We've got a half an hour together, and I promise you it's going to be entertaining the entire time. So please make sure you stay logged in with us for these next few moments. Really excited and just saying welcome. Shoot us a comment. Let us know that you're here and that you're watching. We're just really thrilled that we are now post-election and really getting into our work. Moms have been on the ground and moving. Hey, Dee Dee, good to see you. And Karen Delaney, how are you? Thanks so much for joining us today. Just so good to see everybody. So I'll say again, the climate corner is coming together, right? It really is. So we've got our Mom's Clean Air Force sign. We've got our Clean Air Moms vote. I like our climate corner. It's gonna be changing. I'm not gonna add new stuff all the time because we're cool like that because we're moms. Hi, Kellen, Shaquila, Simone. Hey, from North Carolina. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are talking Moms and Climate. This is our Mom's Clean Air Force monthly Facebook Live where we have an opportunity to talk to you firsthand about what's happening, answer questions if we can. If we can't, we'll direct you somewhere that can answer those questions, but more importantly, to connect and engage you with moms all across the country, not just moms, dads, grandmoms, cousins, play cousins, aunts, you get the point. Everybody that's concerned about our children's health. It's very important to all of us. So we want to keep everybody coming and joining in with us. Hi, Kathy. Kathy, you're in Southern California. I see that. And we're actually going to talk at the end of this about how to get engaged. So you stay right where you are, and we're going to jump right into our conversation because we've got lots to talk about today. When I tell you it has been exciting since the in November, and this is like we're not even a full month out of the election, and moms have been on the ground busy. So first great piece of news is that since the election, we have over 114, if I'm not mistaken, that's the last number I saw, 114 women that have been elected into this new Congress. Yay, that is amazing and exciting. We're so happy to see so many women, moms. There's even now talk about a mom's caucus being a part of this new Congress. It really shows the power of having women sitting in office and making policy decisions that impact all of our families. I think it is absolutely wonderful, amazing. And I want to say thank you to all of you who helped us to do that, because guess what? It was you that did it. We had these great pledge to vote cards that went out that we were promoting all over the country, asking people to get involved and to vote, and you did it. You pledged to vote. You pledged to help protect our children. You signed it. You sent it back to us. We sent it back to you, and we reminded you to go and vote, and you did. And as a result of that, we have so many people who are now pro-climate, pro-children's health, that we can go in and talk to directly about all of our children, and that is amazing. As we say at Mom's Clean Air Force, we are mom partisan. That's right. We are not Democrat. We are not Republican. We are mom partisan, and we want to make sure that we are elevating the issues that impact our children's health, your children's health, all children, all over this. Doing the things that protect our children is what's so critically important to us. So I think everybody should just give a round of applause for such a great job in this election. Now, while we're giving ourselves that round of applause, we still have a lot of work to do because there are still attacks that are coming on our children and our children's health and things that protect our children's health every single day. I was talking to Dominique Browning, who is one of the co-founders of Mom's Clean Air Force. And just in a conversation we had this week, I shared with her, I said, Dominique, sometimes I have some of my friends that ask me, Heather, why are you into climate now? Why is this such a big issue for you? And I remind them, first of all, that this has been a big issue for me my entire life and my entire career. I'm from Mississippi. We are around climate impacts each and every day of our lives. We have to be involved in it. It is so critically important to make sure that we are taking care of this earth, because first of all, this is the only planet we have. We don't have another one we can go to, and it's our responsibility. It's the right thing to do. It's about making sure that our children have a space where they can learn and play and grow in a very healthy environment. And to me, that's the most important thing in the world. I shared with Dominique, I think this is the new social justice movement, quite frankly, because the attacks that are being made on our environment right now, they will impact poor people, children, and elderly before anyone else. And all of us have people that we love that are impacted by asthma, by air pollution, and it's only going to get worse if we do not take care of this climate actions that we need to take care of now. So that's why it's so important to me, and I hope you have your why of why it's so important to you. Kathy, I see you. How do you get a pen? Kathy, I want you to send us a direct message, and we're going to get you a pen to make sure that you have a pen, Kathy. So I'm assuming that you want the Mom Partisan pen. And if that's the case, then we're going to make sure that you get that Mom Partisan pen. Thanks so much. All right, I want to go into what have we been doing, because since this election, when I tell you that our moms have been busy, they have been on the road. They have been working. Shout out to Christine Berg, who is in California. I'm sorry, I said California. She's in Denver, Colorado. I was looking at something that was just written and said California. So right around the time of the election, Christine was still busy working on MATS, the Mercury and Air Toxic Standard. That's something that we've talked about here before. This is a regulation that really has been protecting our children from mercury pollution that gets into the air that comes from coal-fired power plants. She was able to get a letter from Mike Coffman, Republican Congressman Mike Coffman, because he wasn't aware of how important this issue was and that EPA was in the process of trying to roll it back. Right after the election, Christine did not stop, but she worked, and they got a letter of support from Republican Congressman Mike Coffman, outlining why it was so important to make sure that he said this was an issue for the constituents in his district. So thank you, Christine, for staying on the ball. In DC, right after the election, Liz was working with a delegation out of Indonesia that came over to the United States and wanted to meet with moms to see what we're doing to protect children's health, and more specifically looking at environmental health in our communities and how we're getting moms to work together. It is huge that we all understand that the climate issues we're dealing with, they are not just limited to the United States borders. Countries all over the world are trying to figure out how to address and deal with environmental health hazards and climate concerns in their own communities. And they're happy to work with us across the country and pick our brains about what we do and how we engage you and what things we can do together. So just really exciting to see that work. And again, right after the election, and Liz is in the DMV, so she had a lot going on, but she was working right there with that team. And we had moms that were represented. At the same time, not even a week after the election, we had moms that were in Denver, Colorado for the methane hearing. Moms were joined with other moms from all across the country to come and talk about the rollback of the new source performance standards. And so we were able to get some of our moms from Texas, from West Virginia, from Pennsylvania, and they came to Denver and they testified. They brought their children and they did such an amazing job that most of the media that you see that came out of that, you'll see people in red t-shirts. That's right. You'll see the ones, if you see somebody in a shirt like this that says moms, this is a Kids Clean Air Force shirt. And I want to show this one because we had these too, and I think they're really cool. Kids Clean Air Force. So we had kids and their moms together that were testifying in Denver, Colorado. All of this was right after the election. When people were tired, our moms were still out working and moving. And I just want to say thank you to all of those moms that got out there, because not only did they testify, we had some of our Ecomadres moms, our Latina moms that came and they covered Spanish media. So we were making sure that our message was heard all over this country and people knew that we were present and that we would always be a force that they needed to deal with. Right after, actually just this past week, we were also in DC at the Alexandria Dunn hearing. This is the hearing for the new replacement in the Office of Chemical Safety and Pollution Prevention at EPA. This is a really important office because this is an office that deals with children's health. And this is an office that we have been very, very concerned about any changes in at EPA. And we are always present and making sure that the agencies are held accountable for any actions. And even though this was after the election and everybody had been working their little fingers to the bones, we still had moms that were present at that hearing. They were there so they could be seen and that EPA would continue to understand that we will be here and that we are watching. We are very concerned about the issues that are taking place with respect to our children. And we wanted to be there to make sure that as Ms. Alexandra Dunn was going through her process to be appointed to this new position, that she knew we were here and that we were going to be very, very involved in that office. So just very excited. Thanks to all of the mom's team, the organizers that were able to come and that were there and showed that strong, strong force. And then just last week again in New Mexico, Solera had our New Mexico methane table she attended on behalf of Moms Clean Air Force and had really, again, that mom's presence there talking about methane. Just let me give a shout out to Patrice, because Patrice is our resident methane expert. She is one of our valued field team members, but I just go to Patrice on any and all things methane. And this past week, I was actually in San Antonio with Dee Dee, another one of our field team members, and we were working with United Methodist Women because they're interested in methane pollution and how they can prevent it and how it impacts children's health. And because of the great work that Dee Dee has done, we were able to go and do some training, share our materials, and really have a great time and engage a larger audience on how to address these issues in communities. So as you can tell, we are on it. We are on the ball. We did not slow down after this election. This is not a lame duck for us. It may be a lame duck for some other people. But as for moms, we are on the ball. There is one reason for that. It's because if we don't act, if we are not working constantly, climate change does not stop. In fact, it's not even a climate change. It has changed. It is now. Extreme weather is not going to take a break just because we're all tired or because the elections may not have come out the way that we wanted them to come out. The floods do not roll back automatically. The tornadoes don't quit. The hurricanes don't just decide, oh, they need a vacation, they need a break, so we're not going to come. It doesn't work like that. We all have to stay very vigilant, and I appreciate each and every one of our moms and our volunteers that continues to act and continues to work, even in the midst and when it seems like we're all worn out. With babies on hips, these mothers are standing strong and they are fighting and advocating for all children. And I can only say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you know that you are being well taken care of and covered, moms all over, and that you have a team of people who are advocating for your children. So I see a couple of questions, and I promise you I'm going to get to as many of these as I can towards the end. But I just want to say hello to Anna. Thanks, Alden, for watching from Virginia. Eve, thanks so much for joining us. It's great to see you. Thanks for being and listening in. And Kathy, you have a great question. You said why the organization name Specifies clean air, and does the mission also fight for clean water and other resources? Great question. Mom's Clean Air Force was actually founded with fighting Mercury. The MATS, what I just talked about a minute ago, that the standard that's being rolled back, that was actually one of the very first thing that moms came and started fighting about, was how do we protect our children from air pollution? So we had a very, very specific target when we started, and we have grown tremendously, exponentially over the past few years. And while we do primarily focus on air pollution, we recognize that climate change and air pollution has a huge impact on climate change, and it also impacts other elements that are critical to our survival. So that's where we get into talking about environmental health justice. We talk about the things that impact frontline communities and how climate change is the primary factor of that. So yeah, we're going to talk about water because we talk about extreme weather events and hurricanes and flooding and access to these critical life requirements that we all have. So thank you for that question, and I'm going to keep coming back to questions throughout. Right now, I want to talk about what's next, what's coming up, because there's some things that I want you to keep out for. I mentioned MATS, Mercury Air Toxic Standards. I'm going to mention MATS over and over and over again, because this is a very, very serious regulation that the agency is trying to roll back. And we know how they do things, right? These reports when we're not looking at the reports, or we're on vacation, or we're doing something. So look for a possible MATS rollback to come out over the holiday seasons. It would not surprise me at all. We're going to be fighting it, and we've already started petitioning members of Congress to make sure that they know it's so important that we maintain this. If you would like some more information on this, please go to our website, because we have so many resources on our website about mercury and air toxic standards, about methane. It is such a wonderful tool to use and something that you should be equipped with. So please make sure that you go and that you look at our website for that. Andrew Wheeler nomination. That's another one to watch out for, and another one that will likely come during the holiday. So Andrew Wheeler is who replaced Scott Pruitt, the head of EPA. You all remember Scott Pruitt from the crazy things that were taking place during his administration at EPA. So you probably heard about stuff from going and having crazy, huge security details, to mattresses, to body lotion, all kinds of stuff. He resigned. Who came behind him was Andrew Wheeler. Now we say Wheeler is worse. Why? Well, Andrew Wheeler came out of the coal industry. Like, this is classic case of putting the fox in charge of the hen house. The very people that we are trying to stop from poisoning our children, he lobbied for. And those same organizations are still in some way touching the Environmental Protection Agency. And so we really want to make sure that Congress understands this is not acceptable. We do not accept Andrew Wheeler as a replacement for Scott Pruitt, and we really want them to look for someone who has our children's best interests at heart and who is not tied to the coal industry in any shape, form, or fashion. And so we're going to be pushing back on Andrew Wheeler. But mark my words, watch, that's going to come around the Christmas holidays. And when it does, I want you to come back and say, you know what, Heather said it first. She said that it was going to come during the holidays. And then we can come back and talk about that in January or right after, if it happens around that time. lots of activity going on with this new Congress. So if you've seen anything about the Green New Deal, that's a progressive idea of how do we address climate, and the fact that the current Congress just hasn't done enough. Like, we haven't done enough to address climate issues in our nation. And so the Green New Deal is something that, as an idea, it is looking at different ways that we can really be advocates moving forward, and very creative, and take some strong stances on climate and then put action behind it. So that's something else that you should look at. And then even just, I think yesterday evening, there was a town hall event that took place that talks about climate. So, you know, there's a lot of energy right now that's talking about climate safety, resiliency, because that's very, very important. Again, you don't know how important it is until you don't have it. And this is one of those issues that we don't want to be the reality TV show on this one. We've seen the television and the movie remakes of what happens when extreme weather gets out of hand, but this is not something that can be solved in 90 minutes of home box office theater. This is real, it's real life, and it's what we have to deal with right now. So let's talk about some other things that are what's going on and what we can do. I wanted to share with you what Moms has going on and what Moms is doing, because I always send everybody to the website, but sometimes people don't get to see like what we're actually, like, if you're not around a Moms chapter or a field team member, or maybe you haven't been to a house party or a cafecito, you don't see a lot of the materials we have. So I brought some that I like. This is one of my favorites, Global Climate Change. And you see this little section up here that says, wait a minute, over here, sorry, armed with facts. That is one of the reasons why people respect Mom's Clean Air Force so much, is because we never walk into a room and don't have all of our information ready to go. Like, I have seen moms come and talk to congressmen and senators with babies in strollers and on hips and being breastfed, and they talk serious science. They know the facts, and they have put some people to shame because they underestimated these women. It's because we have these materials, and because we are constantly arming all of our members with this information. This is one on global climate change. I love it because it's simple. It talks about, you know, what is it? And then it answers questions like people will ask you, like, hadn't our climate always changed? It talks about it being personal, what you can do about climate change. It talks about extremely dangerous weather. So all of this information is on our website. You can actually go on our website and download this and get it, take it, give it to your friends. This is information. Another exciting one, this one is how mercury poisoning works, because you've heard me talk about mercury. If you've ever wondered, like, I know I did when I was pregnant, why they would say you can't eat fish, because I love fish. Plan on having salmon for dinner tonight. Love fish. This is a great resource because it talks about how mercury poison actually works. You may not know, but mercury poison actually is something that can go through the placenta, and it impacts brain development of a fetus. So unborn babies are impacted by mercury poisoning in their brain before they're even developed. I want you to think about this for a second, because mercury poison can come from coal-fired power plants, which are typically next to frontline communities, low-income minority communities. So if these are communities that are constantly breathing in this poison and it is impacting unborn children, it really begs the question of whether or not people in low-income communities are not only more susceptible, but are impacted dangerously by children who are born with the possibility that their brain was underdeveloped in some way, shape, form, or fashion just because of the air that they were breathing. This is serious. This is environmental justice, really, real talk. and the reasons why we do the work that we do. We have a new program that's coming out in 2019 that I am super excited about. And I hope that Shaquila has joined us today because she will really love and appreciate Community RX. And this is my church band, y'all. This is my church band. Feel the cool air of the climate change winds just coming by. I love it. I so love it. I so love it. So Community RX is our new program. This is our environmental health justice program. It is a program that works specifically in the African American community. We talk about environmental justice, as you just heard me talk about, but we want to focus on environmental health justice. We really want to focus on how this is impacting children across communities. And this is so, so great. I cannot tell you how excited we are that we also have a Bible study that goes with it. So, as you can tell, I'm really excited about this. So this Bible study was developed. Isn't it lovely? It is. So it talks about climate justice. It has amazing photos in it. It has scripture in it, as you can tell. It even has songs that go with it. It's a 5-week Bible study. And we're going to be working with different churches and communities across the Southeast to get this into the hands of churches to talk about climate right in your own community. So this plus my fan, which on the other side of the fan has facts, air pollution in the African American community. I hope everybody can see that. Especially the part in the bottom, the right to breathe clean air is a civil right for all people. This is so fantastic. I am thrilled. I'm excited about this program. In fact, I'm gonna hold this fan for the rest of the next few minutes we have left, just because I like church fans. Thank you, Shaquila, and the entire Moms Clean Air Force team that put this together. It was a huge effort, but when I tell you it was an effort and a labor of love, I think this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful asset to our moms program. And listen, it's not just for the African American community. It's for everybody. Environmental health justice is for everybody. Asthma impacts everybody. Air pollution impacts everybody. This is just a resource that we found. We were able to target environmental health justice to the community, and can't wait to see how well this turns out. So we're really, really excited about this. As you can tell, everyone, we have some wonderful resources, and they only get the only part about it is they don't get used unless you use them. You have to use them. We want you to use them. We want you to be a part of our wonderful moms family. And again, don't have to be a mom. You can be a godmom, grandmom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, nephew. You get the point. So long as you have a concern about children's health and you want to help us to get and achieve that mission of making sure that our children, we are protecting our children's health, we welcome you, and we definitely will put you to work. So we have tomorrow coming up, and if you just drop your name into the comments, we'll get back to you on the details, but we're doing a video on how to host a house party or a cafecito or a table talk, whatever you want to call it. We had a great number of moms that wanted to volunteer after the election and wanted to say, hey, how do we get started? So Kathy, this is the answer to your question. Kathy in California that asked me, hey, I really want to do something here. Here's your way. We're going to reach out to you and send you the details of connecting with us. I'm going to be doing a short video tomorrow. It'll be taped, but if you can join in with us live, it'll be on a video conference, so we'll be able to interact, and I can see you on screen, or you can talk to me on the phone, or either way. And I'm just going to share with you some quick tips about how to do a house party, how you can set yours up, and how to connect with us to make sure that we can at least send you some of the goodies, like the Mom Partisan pin, or maybe a t-shirt or two, or if you like, a church fan. We want to make sure we get the tools that you need into your hands. So please think about joining us tomorrow if you would like to. And the only thing you need to do is just drop your name into the comment section. And by doing that, we will follow up and we will get back with you on Facebook. So you'll get a nice little Facebook message for us with the details of that conference call tomorrow. You guys are so awesome. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And thank you all. I'm looking back in just through the comments and just thank you for joining in. And Kellen, thank you for that comment that says toxins also move through the atmosphere. They hurt everyone. You are absolutely right. They hurt everybody. So it does not discriminate based upon your race, your sex, where you live or where you are. These things are mobile. They move everywhere and they can hurt all of us. But our job is to make sure that we're protecting our children and protecting them to the best of our ability. So I just want to say before we sign off, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you all, some of you tomorrow. Kellen, thanks. I'm going to follow up with you and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. And everyone else, we'll see you next month with some more updates from Mom's Clean Air Force. Heather, signing off. Bye-bye.